Welcome to another episode of the Read Pile. I'm getting to the Amulet volumes 7 through 9 here, and I need to clear the air a little bit. One, I've been under the weather. I'm feeling honestly much better today, even though my voice sounds awful. But I've done 2 videos now. This is the third on the Amulet, and this is the conclusion, volumes 7 through 9, and I've recommended it. I've encourage people to read it, and I'm now saying I think I was wrong. So having now finished the series, I'll get to this. But let's start with volume 7. So in my reread, I'm going through the series. I've reread volumes 1 through 6 at this point. The enemy is winning. The good guys are on the retreat, and forces are gathering. Stakes are building. Navin, who we've been repeatedly told is the leader of the resistance, is on a side quest, and he winds up at this town where he's broke and he has no money, and he gets on board this airship as restaurant staff. And I'm like, something has gone horribly wrong here. This guy winds up getting a side quest to buy vegetables, and we get that sequence, and I'm like, what the hell is happening right now? And then we get this, it's still going. The chef, the cook chef, is explaining to 2 of our heroes here about sort of life lessons and family, and don't overwork yourself, and don't lose sight of your passion. And I'm just like, f***ing what? And this guy, again, leader of the resistance, is like learning how to be a waiter. And I'm just like, what the f*** is happening here? This, I think, should have been a sign. Let me skip ahead. So volume 7 ends with a spaceship. This fantasy series, humans, anthropomorphized animals, magic, elves, all sorts of monsters, suddenly is going to space. I'm just like, what the f*** is there? What? One, there are always more people around. We'll get to that later. There are always more people around. There's always more people fighting against the elves, and like, this is a whole technological, like, look at this. That's a lot of shit for what is the rest of the world is basically medieval Europe, and they've also got spaceships, and like some elves are good, and just like, what the f*** is happening? Weirdly, this is where I ended. So volume 8 comes out, and I must have known at the time, because this is how it ends, to be concluded in book 9. I must have known that the series was going to end with 9, and then decided at the time, oh, I'll just wait to read both when I have them both. And then somewhere in the intervening years, I forgot that fact. Because I start reading 8, and like, none of this seems familiar. So, again, the stakes are building, despite that weird restaurant subplot. Emily, our main hero, has actually gone all Dark Phoenix, somewhat literally, and she's turned into a giant flaming bird, so things are even worse for everyone, except this issue, this volume, resolves that without too much difficulty. She does burn it. She burns the houses down. But we get to this point, and besides space travel, and then aliens, because we haven't gotten to the aliens yet. Emily, there's one of the aliens, and the giant robot. Emily gets to a place, a magical place, and suddenly there's time travel as well. There's some time travel shenanigans, and there's a lot of talk about what's to come, her journey, difficult choices, all of this stuff. There's also a bunch of talk about anger and guilt and fear, and it's all very like Jedi I don't know. Taking this together, it's a lot of life lessons, and I think somewhere along the way, the guy lost the plot. Because... Here we go again. Leader of the resistance. He's biking up a hill to meet some trees. I don't know, man. I don't know. So anyway, all of that happens. We've now got giant robots, aliens, the conflict that was... It's hard to even say, because the conflict seemed global on this one planet, and then we get to this, there's aliens involved, and now it's like, no, the problem is actually intergalactic. There's multiple planets involved, and the resistance is actually a multi-planetary force that's all fighting against these shadows that are possessing people and like turning them evil. It's not even really evil. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. So again, these are the stakes. The stakes that we're dealing with is interplanetary invasion force that is taking over a planet, maybe, ineffectively. Because in addition to a space program that seemingly nobody knew about, over here, there's a brand new set of characters that sort of resolve everything, and the characters that we have been following for now 8 volumes, I don't know how many pages, 1,600, don't actually do that much. It's, I don't know. I had flashbacks to sort of Rise of Skywalker level shitting the bed, and I was also thinking about Lord of the Rings and how I'm expecting a giant human versus orc army clash, and that is not at all what happens. It's almost more post-Thanos snap, where somebody just shrinks and turns to dust and gets blown away. And I'm just like, this is so anticlimactic. And then all of this. So the leader of the resistance does practically nothing. I said that this brand new set of characters comes out of nowhere, left field, somewhat Deus Machina, and resolves things, and there's a character that is a mayor of a town, so she's in charge of, let's say, hundreds, possibly thousands of people, and she just f***s off, and, it's not on the page. She goes with this small crew of people, and every time she shows up on the page, I'm like, shouldn't you be leading your people? What are you doing here? What are you doing? I don't know. This whole stack is going in the maybe pile, because I don't know that I will ever reread this again. I will no longer recommend this, and it is very disappointing. It's kind of, I don't know, it started so strong, it started so promising, and I think, again, over the course of 15 years of putting out 9 volumes, I think he lost the plot somewhere along the way. There's hints of this continuing in some form, and if it does, I'm definitely not going to continue, because I don't think he actually knows how to end the series, but there's plenty of stuff, like I said, in Volume 8, hints of the future, vague proclamations about difficult choices and things, you know, foreshadowing that don't actually happen, and I'm like, what the f***? So, no, I don't recommend it, and I'm sorry that I posted the previous 2 videos.